Hello, and welcome to the fourth programming episode of the Adventures with Computers in C++ series. Something I forgot to mention in the last tutorial. A variable is signed by default, so you don't have to put the sign keyword in front of every variable that you want signed. Today I will demonstrate the usage of constants in C++. Using constants is a very important part of organized programming. For example, if you wanted to use a certain number in a formula or function, then a constant that contains the value of that number can be used instead. This also makes changing those constants more convenient. If there are multiple occurrences of that constant in the code, then to change all of them at once, all you would need to do is to change the definition at the top of the program, wherever you place the definition. I will explain two types of constants today: literal constants and defined constants. Literal constants are the same as the variables that you can use in the program. The only difference is that in the definition there is a const keyword right before the name, and it requires for it to be initialized to a value as soon as it is declared. Afterwards, the variable can no longer be altered. It will maintain this value until it is deallocated, which is usually when the program exits. So here's an example. We will create a constant integer, n constant, equal to 5. So now we have a constant integer that's equal to 5. And as you can see, n constant can no longer be changed. Error, expression must be a modifiable L value. Now, if we did not have this const keyword, then it can be changed. Now, const storage almost never matters to the actual compiled program, but it is good for preventing any mistakes from being made during the development of the code. A defined constant is a constant that is defined in the source files, but never meets the compiler. Before compilation, something called the preprocessor is run, processing all of the commands typed with a hash as its first character. The include command takes its argument and pastes the contents of the file into the file in place of the command. So everything that's in IOStream gets placed into our main.cpp file. Okay, a define takes one or two arguments, but we will stay with the two-argument explanation for now. It looks for any occurrence of the first argument within the code and replaces it with its second argument. For example, we can define number to equal to 5. Now we can see out my number is number and L. And as you can see, it knows that our number is 5, and it replaces number with 5. And just so you can see, if, for example, there are multiple occurrences in the code, you only need to change it once, and it works for everything. We can also define a defined constant. So, for example, we can define the fifth number as number, and right here we can type the fifth number. So as you can see, the fifth number is defined as number, and number is defined as 5. So the fifth number ends up being 5. My number is 5. It is a good programming habit to name defined constants in all capital letters. Each kind of constant has its own strengths and weaknesses. Literal constants, the one that use the const keyword, are usually used for structures and classes, which we will cover later on. Defined constants are usually used for everything else, including numbers, strings, or even other constants, as I have shown here. I will go into depth about the preprocessor in a later tutorial. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Tutorial 5, Calculative Operators.